Hello, good afternoon. I'm Luca Pandolfi. I'm the project manager of this exhibition. I work for Confindustria Bergamo, that is the, let's say, association of Confindustria of the companies of the province of Bergamo. We have almost 1,300 associated companies, the majority of which are small and medium enterprise, and we have also some big enterprise as associated companies. We are, let's say, deeply involved in this sector and this sector of the application of the valves, so the oil and gas sector, but not only the oil and gas, as you know, hydrogen, carbon capture and storage, great water distribution, petrochemical, and all that you know better than me. Thank you for coming. I will moderate this conference today, and we will start with the Vice President of Confindustria Africa Mediterraneo, Mr. Paolo Biglieri. So, Mr. Biglieri, I give you the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Paolo Biglieri, Vice President of Confindustria Africa and Mediterraneo. First of all, I would like to thank Confindustria Bergamo for inviting us, for involving in this initiative, and which is we consider be extremely important, on great interest, and be in the business opportunity for the industrial valve supply chain in Africa and Middle Eastern country. I also want to spread my gratitude to the distinguished and the ambassadors that we have here as well, and the speakers that will be with us today. As Vice President of Confindustria Africa and Mediterraneo, I represent the Italian Entrepreneur Association, supporting all the small and medium companies. Also, we have big enterprises, important banks that we are in our association, that leading banks and numerous industrial associations, as well as also Confindustria Bergamo and Confindustria Brescia as well. In light of this experience of our association, I can firmly say that market of Africa and Middle East are offering enormous opportunity in the industrial valve supply chain. In recent years, African countries have demonstrated renewable commitment to industrialization as part of broader agenda to diversify their economies, build resilience to shocks, developing productivity capacity for high sustainable economic growth, creating a lot of employment opportunities and sustainability, reducing the poverty in the African countries. Industrialization is central of Africa development prospect, with young labor force, abundant natural resources, and fast-growing internal market. Africa has the potential to become the next global frontier on the industrial development. Africa's development strategy, from the Sustainable Development Goals to Agenda 2063 and the African Union 2011 Action Plan for the Accelerated Industrial Development of Africa, all clearly identify industrial development as foundation of inclusive growth, the creation of decent jobs, and many other development goals. Additionally, the development of the energy sector remains a priority in most African economies, and the demand of industrial valve country to steadily increase in the region. These solutions play a fundamental role in ensuring the efficiency and safe operation of oil and gas production, transportation, and distribution facilities. Valves are fundamental in flow control and pressure regulation, with systems and their efficiency designed to use can significantly contribute to reducing energy consumption and greenhouse gas emission, optimizing the efficiency of energy systems. In this context, made in Italy technologies for industrial valves and flow control are historically specialized in the Italian mechanical sector, can facilitate access to high-quality valves in African countries, contributing to the continent's industrialization. In an historic moment in which the African continent is accelerating its industrial development, the business opportunity for Italian companies are enormous. In this best moment to invest in these countries, leveraging on the Italian institutional support to companies operating in Africa. The Mattei Plan, for example, which is stand of the center of the Italian government foreign policy to the African continent, aims to foster development by strengthening the partnership between Italy and African countries in the framework of a mutually benefit partnership and a win-win cooperation. Indeed, despite the ongoing geopolitical crisis, the MENA regions remain crucial for global energy security as key producer and energy resource and vital transit hub this resource to foreign market, particularly in Europe. In these frameworks, in which the African and Middle Eastern industrialization process will develop in the coming years, opening new opportunities in the Italian companies operating in the industrial valve sector as reliable and high-quality partners. We strongly believe that supply chain projects, the sector represents a growth driver for small and medium-sized enterprise in Italy, Africa, and the Middle East. IVS represents a point of reference for the Italian excellencies in the sector, and it represents a relevant occasion for meeting new industrial and trade partners from all over the world. For example, with my company as well, that we are not involved in the valve industry, we are investing in Libya, that we are having already a company there, as well in Egypt as well, that we're talking, and we enter in contact with Confindustria Africa Mediterraneo and Confindustria Bergamo 2 years ago in Egypt as well to develop new projects there and to have manufacturing facilities as well. That's why I invite all the Italian companies to believe in the Middle East, in the African market, that probably will be very, very interesting for us. And as I travel a lot around Africa, and I can really say that there are a lot of opportunities for all of us to grow over there, not only to sell, but to have new opportunities between the two continents. For this, let's use the valves to open a flow of cooperation between Africa and the Middle East. Okay, thank you so much for your attention, and enjoy IVS.
Thank you, President Biglieri. And now let's proceed. I will give the floor to the Ambassador Stefano Di Leo, Ambassador d'Italia in Nigeria, Ambassador of Italy in Nigeria, that is, I think, is linked. He is connected, already connected, I don't know. I don't know if... Per la regia possiamo collegare l'ambasciatore? Ok. So, sorry, we try to manage this technical issue. Okay. Good afternoon, Ambassador, Mr. Ambassador. No, non la sentiamo, we can't hear you.
Io vi sento, vi vedo, però...
Ora la sentiamo bene, grazie. Okay. Buongiorno, okay. Benvenuto ambasciatore.
Thank you.
Benvenuto,
I see that we have bypassed all technical issues, and I'm now with you. Thank you very much indeed. I thank you for this. First of all, my name is Stefano Di Leo. I'm the Italian ambassador in Nigeria since 2022. And first of all, I would like to thank you very much for this important opportunity to interact with this distinguished audience. We talk indeed about strategic issues for our companies, and I'm glad I can contribute a bit to this discussion. And my goal is not to enlist figures or investment sectors. I think you all know what we're talking about. But I would like to give you a brief outlook on the new trends and priorities in Nigeria. So I think we can start with this. First of all, let me say that Nigeria's economy has exited recession since 2021. with an average GDP of growth of over 3%. So in 2024, we see 3.4% of GDP growth. And under its new administration, which was established in May 2023, Nigeria has set out an ambitious reform path to restore macroeconomic stability and support inclusive growth. The authorities reformed the fuel price subsidies, unified official trade exchange windows, and are focused on revenue mobilization, governance, and enhancing the monetary and exchange rate policy frameworks, as well to strengthen social safety nets. The process is ongoing, and our auspices are to see Nigeria's economy offer to our industries and our companies important investment opportunities. With the largest population in Africa, Nigeria remains a crucial market for investors and traders and offers abundant natural resources and vast labor pool workers. In 30 years, the population will reach approximately 500 million people, with consequent needs of infrastructures, housing, and whatever is needed to build a upcoming society. Interesting to know is that 1/3 of Nigeria's cities has still to be built. So we are talking about an immense area of opportunities. The population will increase significantly, and the needs to build up cities with all the necessities of framework of logistic issues, infrastructures are there. In this gigantic process, we have to focus, first of all, our attention to the power production in Nigeria to enhance economic development and investment. I want to point this out. The crucial issue is that a stable and sufficient power supply is instrumental in attracting investments, boosting productivity, driving economic growth across all sectors of the economy, from agribusiness, telecommunication, oil and gas, construction, infrastructures, and so on. So we consider that at the moment, there are bottlenecks in energy, and if we don't overcome these bottlenecks, the whole process will be at risk. So I think that the Nigerian authorities do very well to improve and to focus on the reforms that enhance also energy safety. In this big strategy, it will be mainly the development of Nigeria's gas ambitions to play a strategic role in the coming decades, including, as you have maybe heard, the construction of some very important initiatives like the Nigeria-Morocco gas export pipeline, the expansion of Nigeria liquefied natural gas facilities, this train number 7, and revival of the Nigerian gas flare commercialization program. So there are huge investment opportunities in this increase of energy production that will, from that point of view, boost also development and economic growth. This development is closely interlinked and has strategic points of contact with the globally energy transition in the drive to decarbonization by 2063. So looking into the future, but not too far, we have hydrogen, and investing in hydrogen-related products in Nigeria is a very interesting opportunity. Nigeria has abundant natural resources and potential to renewable energy projects, including hydrogen production. And the rising global demand for green hydrogen has positioned Nigeria, blessed with abundant solar resources, as a key player with potential immense economic opportunities for nations investing in this clean energy transition. However, to fully harness this potential, Nigeria needs a comprehensive infrastructure development strategy. So we see that increasing energy production means also to increase infrastructure development strategy. Another area where there are points of contact, of synergy, and where our companies can have strategic opportunities. And let me also say that the country's gas distribution infrastructure, which is already in place, presents of several potential off-taker industries, port infrastructures, and experience with renewable energy sector that could form the basis of an accelerated movement towards utility scale infrastructure that are factors that suggest Nigeria's potential and readiness for green hydrogen production and regional leadership. So we are talking about a hub. It's not only Nigeria, but it's a positioning of our companies that allows to spread out to the whole area. So there are huge opportunities connected with energy production. And as we have seen, energy production needs also infrastructure development. Then we have a second point to energy, which is hydro. Hydropower and thermal energy are the primary sources of electricity in Nigeria at the moment. Nigeria has much hydropower potential because of its naturally river systems, but 85% of the capacity has yet to be built. So also there are huge opportunities to interact with a giant that has enormous potential, but needs support and needs know-how, technology, which our companies can provide. We can provide solutions to current power shortages, which are there, but the resources are so abundant that they can be easily overcome. Hydropower remains the world's most important source of renewable energy production, and Nigeria remains also a key player in reducing the amount of gaseous carbon in the power systems. So we can also link this process also to another important issue, which is the environment issue. So we have seen there is an energy potential, there's an infrastructural potential, and there is the way to preserve environment through technology, through opportunities of investment. Finally, electricity. In order to achieve development goals such as universal access to electricity and industrialization, Nigeria requires rapid expansion of electricity generation capacity and production, another area where our companies can play an important role. And up to this, there is also the need of having legal frameworks that protect and guide our investments. And that's why in June 2023, the government of Nigeria has adopted the Electricity Act that introduces a range of key features, including liberalization of Nigeria's electricity generation, transmission, and distribution at national level. The states can issue licenses to private investors who may operate mini-grids and power plants within their territory. The Act encourages the integration of renewable energy technologies into the existing grid system, so there is an interconnection. And finally, as we have heard before, we have a very important tool that is the Piano Mattei, the Mattei Plan, in which one of the most important pillars is the energy security, in line with the need to boost economy and investments. So I wanted just to give you some elements to bring forward a discussion that is very interesting and that can provide to the Italian system of small and medium enterprises a huge investment opportunity market in which Piano Mattei, the embassies, all other players involved, SACE, but also civil society, NGOs, Italian NGOs, private sector, can play a very important and strategic role. We have know-how, we have technology, we have levels of capacity and up-to-date technology that can really make the difference, and where Italy can play an important role. I would stop here. Thank you very much for your attention, and I stay, of course, at your disposal for further discussions and in-depth discussions on, let's say, points of common interest to go a bit more in-depth. But in 5 minutes or a bit more, I wanted to highlight the huge opportunities in the whole sector. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Thank you for this, let's say, very precise outlook in a very short time. So thank you very much. And,
thank you.
And it was very interesting, your outlook on Nigeria. And we can proceed now with the ambassador in Iraq, of Iraq in Italy. No, we have Sorry, we have a change? Okay, okay. Okay. The ambassador of Iraq in Italy, Mr. Saivan Barzani. He's not? Okay, okay. Yes, I know, of the council, of the Chamber of Commerce. Yeah. Okay, okay. No problem. Okay, the ambassador of Iraq in Italy.
Thank you very much. Thank you for Confindustria. UNIDO helped us a lot. The city of Bergamo and all the people present here. And welcome to the Iraqi delegation to this important exhibition. As you know, Iraq is one of the most important countries in energy sector, and maybe it's the only country according to the International Energy Organization or agency saying that we can double or triple our production in gas and oil in the future. And then the position of Iraq is very important in the transportation. Iraq is building one of the biggest ports in the world. The project has been made in Lombardia. We have a project for the railway connecting the Asia and Southeast Asia and the south of the world to Europe, which is the same project we had in 1908, Baghdad, Berlin, Bonn. Then for the transportation of energy, pipelines, and all other supplies, Iraq is a key country. So I think that the Industrial Valve Summit is something very important and an opportunity for the Italians and for the Iraqis. And we can build on it and have more contacts. As you see, we have a big Iraqi delegation here, and we have all this 100 of Italian companies. There is a feeling between the two countries to business community, and we can build on it. Our government decided to have Italy as its first partner for the reindustrialization of the country. Of course, Italy is our first cultural partner. In the security and defense sector, we are very close friends. Diplomacy as well. That's why this is the third time I'm coming back to your country. The fourth time I will go to the Holy See. It's not possible anymore to come back here as an ambassador, but anyway, your beautiful country, attracting a lot of people, attracting all the Iraqi business community. And we signed last week with the delegation, the SACE, an agreement that Italy will be our partner for the production line in oil, gas, all the industries, agriculture, pharmaceutical, and all the other sectors. But maybe you know that oil, gas, and energy is the most important sector in Iraq, then irrigation, desalination, and water. And all of those sectors are linked directly to the subject of this summit. And I hope that what you are hearing about Iraq and the stereotypes, what you had as an idea about Iraq, you must change them. And to visit Iraq and coming to and see that security, safety is everywhere around Iraq. Iraq is developing itself very quickly. It was, so he's saying, the missed part of the road to Asia, not to be competitor with the Suez Canal or other roads, but Iraq is very important for the transportation of energy toward Europe as well. Of course, in Europe, we are taking a lot of the renewable energy as the trend nowadays, but every year people need 2 billion more barrels of oil. They need more gas, they need more energy, and cooperating in this sector between Italy and Iraq is very important. So I'm inviting you to participate in our forum in October, Iraq-Italian Business Forum in Rome. Then afterward, we are planning to have another forum in Iraq itself, and I invite you all to visit Iraq, to participate in the international fairs, and you don't need a visa, and if you need it, my embassy is open to you. And thank you very much for this opportunity. I don't want to be very long because I was not in the program. I invited myself. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, now let's proceed with the Iraqi-Italian Business Council, and I give the floor to Mr. Salar Omer Salih. Please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today it's my pleasure. I'm here in Italy, and I am the president of Italian Iraqi Council. I don't have a lot of words to say after our ambassador because he is know everything, but we also add to these words that Iraq, it is now another Iraq. It is changed after he came out from the big wars. Everyone know about this, and we are as Italian Iraqi Council, we are choosing some sectors that Iraq working with Italian in these sectors. One of these sectors, it is the industry, and we choose Italy because Italy, it is very, very rich in this sector, and very also friendly, the Italian with Middle East. Everyone know that. And really Iraq also, it is very rich country in many, many things. One of these things, it is the oil and the gas from the south to the north of Iraq. So if you know that in north of Iraq there is many source of oil and gas, also in the middle of Iraq and also in the south of Iraq. Basra, it is one of the big cities that send a lot of, let's say, more than 3 million barrels of oil every day to the markets. And also Eni, it is the Italian company that work also in Basra, and is like a big column in Basra in economy of oil, let's say this sector. And there is also many, many Italian companies now in Iraq working, but we need more than these companies coming to Iraq, because really Iraq, it is very hungry for everything, because it is like a virgin now city, a virgin country, sorry, and need everything in the many sectors. One of these sectors, like we say, it is the industry in general. We say in general, when I speak as a Italian Iraqi Council, I speak in general in many sectors. One of these, it is the trading and the industry and the education and the health sector also. So we invite all the businessmen and the big companies in Italy to come to Iraq. Really, Iraq, it is now very, very safe, and we are welcome to any company coming to Iraq. Thank you.
Thank you to the President of the Iraqi-Italian Business Council. Now we proceed with CIMEST and with Mrs. Francesca Licata, that is the head of external relations of CIMEST. As you wish, you can stay there or we can go to the podium. So please, Francesca.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for this important opportunity. I want to say thank you to Promoberg and also to Confindustria Bergamo and Africa, of course. Today I have the honor to represent CIMEST. Simest is part of Cassa Depositi e Prestiti, and we collaborate with many institutions like the Minister of Foreign Affairs, or for example the Italian Trade Agency, and also we are part of the European Development Financial Institution. What is our mission? Our mission is to support the internationalization of the Italian company, and we offer soft loans, equity and export credit support with supply credit. About equity loans, we can do a joint venture with an Italian company that need to have the majority share of the foreign company. So the Italian company need to be the majority partner, need to have more of 41% of the share. And Simest can be the minority partner, so we can have up to 49% of the share. In this case, we stay close to the Italian company up to 80 years, and we speak about the investment project. And in this case, we offer a very low interest rate. What about soft loans? About soft loans, we offer loans that have a very good condition. For example, we offer loans with a very low interest rate that today is 10% of EU benchmark rate. Today is about 0.5%, so it's very low. Those kind of loans will not impact to the on the central risk, so will not impact on the capability to the Italian company to ask the loans on the banking system. And our loans, every company can apply directly on our website, simest.it. Okay, I will, there is not a slide, but I will say what kind of loans we offer. So we offer the opportunity to the Italian company to open a new shop or corner in another country. So for example, an Italian company that want to open a shop or corner in Africa can ask our loans. Another loans that we offer is, for example, to create an e-commerce platform to sell Italian goods, or for example, we offer loans to attend international fairs or international exhibition, for example, in Africa or also in or in Italy. We offer loans to for consultancy or for a temporary manager. So if a company needs professional figures inside the company that can help the Italian company about internationalization or about digitalization, can ask our loans. And the last but not least product is supply credit. Supply credit, with these products, the Italian company can be very competitive because with this product, the Italian company can offer to the foreign company very low interest rate and also a term payment condition between 2 and 5 years. I finished, so I remain at your disposal. Now I have to go because I have another meeting in another place, but if you have any question, you can write to Us Africa with all questions, and I will answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you to Francesca Licata. And now let's go to Cassa Depositi e Prestiti. And we have Mr. Alessandro Muccio, Head of Debt and Equity, International Support. Cassa Depositi e Prestiti. Please, Mr. Muscio, I give you the floor.
Yes, okay, thank you. I promise I won't give into the details of financial tools. I mean, at 3 p.m., so it's hard to, to keep alive. So anyway, first of all, thank you for having me today. I just want to briefly say a few words about CDP, what CDP does, who is CDP. So basically, we are 83%. Okay, this one. Yes, we are 83% owned by the Ministry of Economy and Finance, so we are, let's say, a public-owned company running several activities. We are the main lender for the public administration, we finance corporates, so we are also the Italian development finance institution, so supporting projects in developing countries, as well as we are the main investor in the private equity market, so we do many things. But let's say that today, I would like to focus more on our strategy and products for Africa and for the region, for the MENA region. So let's say that many words have been already said about the Mattei Plan, the importance, of course, of the region for Italy, and CDP position itself in this framework basically as a bank. Basically as a bank that can lend money in several technical forms, but I would start from, let's say, 5 priority sectors. Now the priority of CDP in the region we are focusing on is to finance projects in those 5 sectors. As you can see in this slide, sustainable energy and infrastructure, agribusiness. So those are, let's say, the main driver of our financing activities in the area we are considering. But does not mean that, we want finance corporates for their growth that are not strictly related to project in this field. I'm only saying that when it comes to evaluate to finance a single project in Africa or Middle East, we would primarily address this sector you can see in the slide. And I mean, it's important since they are, let's say, driver to tackle the priority themes you are following in our international and development finance activities. So to give you more let's say, the framework of our intervention as of today, a potential intervention in the region, let's say that basically the first, let's say, business line is the one of the development finance. And in this, let's say, bucket, we have 2 components. The first one is managing public money, public resources, which is also the bulk of the money we can deploy. And I make reference firstly to the Italian Climate Fund, which is a 4.2 billion euro fund we manage on behalf of the Ministry of the Environment to finance initiative, as I said, project in this field. And then we have the rotative fund, Development Cooperation Rotating Fund, which is basically a fund that we manage for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which is, let's say, the most ancient fund managing in the development finance. And this is the part of, let's say, Italian public money. Then we have also the mission of blending, let's say, national resources and European public money, also activating our own resource. And I would say that it's like the case of programs we already put in place in Africa, like Archipelagos and Inclusify, which, as you can see in this slide, which are, let's say, devoted to support the financial inclusion. That means that we lend money to local financial intermediaries to lend money to local PME, to local SMEs. As well, Archipelagos is the one more devoted to, let's say, finance with the same scheme, let's say, high growth potential enterprises. So this is, of course, let's say, the bucket of the public resources. Then we have, let's say, the possibility of activate, as you can see, our own resources that are more on a market-based approach. What I want to stress here is that CDP does not replace financial private sector, or is complementary, because one of our main driver of operate, let's say, in all our field of activities is to be complementary to the private sector. We need to support private banks, we need to support government, we need to support private companies. So, I mean, when it comes to finance a project, we strongly look at involving private players. And this is important also, I mean, to develop a strong ecosystem in the countries we talked like few minutes ago. So, let's say this is more, as I said, the side of development finance for Africa, and I want to stress that Africa is like a very important component of our portfolio since, let's say, 2019. We have deployed like almost 1 billion of resources, of 1 billion euro of resources in Africa for project in Africa, approximately 400 million in 2023 in as I said in Africa. We are strongly focusing there, also opening 2 offices, one in Rabat and one in El Cairo, and now we are evaluating to open further offices, as our CEO said, so I can say again, in sub-Saharan Africa. So this means literally that we want to be there because, I mean, to let's say, as I said, foster the economy of a third country means to be there and talk to local institutional, local stakeholders. We cannot make the financing from Rome, from our offices. So we are doing so. And as I said, those projects have been morely focused on green and digital transition, food security, SMEs innovation. So I mean, also very, very, let's say, innovative sector. On the other side, we can say also that we have the export finance side. The export finance side is the more related to procurement to Italy, and this is, let's say, a scheme that we used to put in place with our brother and sister-in-law of SACE and CIMEST. Basically, we provide medium to long-term finance, and we can make it for sovereign entities, for corporates, both Italian and let's say also, for foreign corporates, for foreign entities to make procurement from Italy. What does it mean in commercial, let's say, terms? That for, let's say, an Italian seller is easier to offer, let's say, more longer maturities for the lending side, longer maturities, more stable interest rates, and of course it means also expanding the access to other banks that wants to pool in this financing. So I mean, it increases the capacity of financing a specific project. I mean, something that would be really interesting for implementing huge project that needs many capitals from the financial sector. So I want to say, concluding, that as I said, we are strongly focusing in this region. We can activate a very huge bucket of product. We can range from classical medium to long term loan to guarantees to take stakes in funds, but we can address all the players you can see in this slide on my left side. So financial institution, and I mean multilateral bank, regional development bank. We can address, as I said, fund, so private asset manager implementing thematic funds. We can support corporate and SPVs, and when I say corporate, I say both Italian and local corporates, so not only financing Italian. We can also finance local corporates that, of course, maybe preferably have let's say, a relationship with an Italian supplier. I mean, but it's not tied to Italian supply. And finally, we can finance sovereign and state-owned entities, like I would say a utility, a local utility, to put in place huge project in critical sector. So I end here. So for anything, I mean, I stay available for clarification. Thank you.
Thank you, Alessandro Muccio. Thank you very much. And so, CIMEST, Cassa Depositi e Prestiti, okay, now the last one is that this is, let's say, a very articulated public system, but a lot of instruments for investing in abroad. And so, thank you very much, Luca Passariello, head of SACE Connects program. Please, Luca, I give you the floor.
Thank you, Luca. And before I start, I would like to thank Angela and the AS Africa Mediterraneo team for inviting SACE to this meeting. And I would like to thank Luca and the Confindustria Bergamo team for inviting SACE and some of the buyers we work with here. I must say I travel quite a bit and visit many fairs and exhibitions, also across different sectors, and I must say there's a very special vibe here. So Luca, I have bad news for you. I think you have to do it every year because this is one of those fairs where really people come to do business, and I think it's also very nice to showcase an Italian excellency like the one in the valves and flow control business. So I think our guests and also all the visitors are enjoying their stay. So in my, it's not working. I share the presentation. There it is. Okay, so I have to sharpen my sight. I remember more or less what I wrote. Anyway, so in my brief presentation, I just wanted to highlight in a nutshell what SACE does, how we support business in the sector and in the regions which we are covering in today's brief meeting. So SACE, like every export credit agency, was established almost 50 years ago as what we call a last resort credit insurance company. So basically where the private insurance companies cannot get to support businesses doing businesses together, state-backed companies like SACE are there to support this business happen. That typically happens in high-risk countries, in businesses where there are long tenors, long repayment terms. But this is what we were established for 50 years ago. And this is, I would say, on one side, what we still do. But on the other hand, over the years, we developed in a broad financial and insurance services company. And today, we take new risks in excess of 50 billion euro for every year. We have a portfolio in excess of 150 billion. And I would say that a very, very few countries aside, we basically operate all over the world, from Germany to Mexico to China, you name it. It's just a very, very few countries we do not work with. And just before I get into some figures and some details about the regions. Well, I'm focusing on Africa. I have a slide on that. But before I do that, let me just mention that we have 2 offices in Riyadh and Dubai. And it would be, I would say, a safe bet to tell you about the many projects we do in that region and in those countries. I would like to mention, since we have His Excellency, the Ambassador from Iraq here, that we signed a 1 billion framework agreement with our Iraqi counterpart to boost the collaboration between Italian and Iraqi companies. And actually last week we had a delegation visiting with Iraqi companies and Italian companies at our SACE office to turn this framework into real contracts. So we are very happy about this, and we're sure there's more to come. And these go also going in a way of a diversification of the, let's say, opportunities, since I think there was one, for example, in the pharmaceutical industry. And so that goes exactly in this direction, but all industries which use a lot the technologies that are here today on stage. But okay, Africa. I think I try to summarize in one slide. So basically, we significantly increased our portfolio of activities in sub-Saharan Africa. We had a portfolio of roughly 2 billion euro in 2015, and today it is in excess of 40 billion. And without going too much into detail, it includes many countries from Egypt to South Africa, going to Nigeria, where we had our ambassador speaking, and also across a number of sectors. Because what do we do in a nutshell, and how can we help companies? I just made 3 very simple examples. One is, how do we help SMEs when they have a single transaction and, for example, they need to sell a machinery to a corporate client in sub-Saharan Africa, for example? Well, this is a scheme we use very often, which is a supplier's credit. Basically, we insure the seller, the Italian exporter, against the non-payment of his local buyer. And actually, while I was speaking with Mr. Bilieri, the Vice President of Africa, he shared with me, but I knew that also his own company, which produces machinery, uses this kind of solutions. So this is very common, and we are really, happy to enable this kind of businesses among SMEs. But very often we're involved also in infrastructure projects, and these infrastructure projects may be both energy projects in Nigeria or infrastructure projects in Egypt, and I'm not making these examples just out of the blue, because they are projects we recently worked on. And in this case, we operate financing directly, let's say providing coverage to the financing bank. I will not get too much into details, but these are typically projects which involve hundreds of millions of euro. Another example, not too recent, but I think quite significant here, where we supported the refurbishment of the refinery Midor in Egypt with Technip as a general contractor. So that is one of those big energy projects which are enabled by SACE, and SACE, let's say, makes it possible to increase Italian content. And actually, we have here also visiting 4 big buyers from Bahrain, from Egypt, from Turkey, and these companies are here to visit Italian companies to increase the content of Italian companies for their large projects. Last but not least, last but not least, the push strategy. Some of the people that are here on the audience know this the scheme. Basically, in this case, we go straight to the buyer and we finance large international buyers with an incentive scheme, basically as a way to help them getting to know Italian suppliers. This is, for example, what we recently did with Babco Energies, which is the Bahrain energy company. We financed them under the scheme, and Babco came to visit us here in Italy, and yesterday we were at Asso Lombarda with a nice business matching meeting with Italian companies, and as we speak they are here browsing across the Italian exhibitors, and actually if you want to meet them or if you want to meet any of the other buyers, please let me know. And just to give you an idea about this last line of business, we devoted already more than 7 billion euros. So it is something we really believe in, and we work hard not only to help Italian companies finalizing their transaction with international buyers, but also trying to use finance as a leverage to bring the large international buyers in Italy and to work with Italian companies. So these were just highlighted our offices in Africa. We have representatives in Cairo and in Johannesburg. They work under, let's say, a hub perspective, so they cover the whole region. They travel constantly, and if you want to get in touch with them, you can do it, and also with our colleagues in the Middle East, or you can also keep in touch with me, and I'll look forward also to answer to your questions after the seminar. Thank you very much.
Thank you to SACE, thank you Luca, and also thank you for the effort you did to bring here the delegation from Bahrain, from Iraq, so thank you very much. So now we change the, let's say, disposition of the guest. Thank you very much, thank you to all the speakers, and I will call on the floor for our case histories. Please, Mr. Ruggeri of Valve Italia. Thank you. Welcome. Okay, you can all come on the stage. Mr. Hamed, Mr. Donelli, Mr. Carleo, and Mr. Arrijabe. Okay?
Ciao, good afternoon.
I didn't mention the company. Then when we will present yourself, you mention the company. Okay? Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks very much. First of all, to Promo Bergamo and Confindustria Bergamo for organizing this beautiful event, very successful event, let me say, as well as thanks very much to Confindustria Africa and Mediterraneo for giving me the privilege to represent Valve Italia and to present you Valve Italia here on this stage. I would like, first of all, to share the way the president of Confindustria Africa Mediterraneo described Confindustria, which is the house of the Italian entrepreneurs. Well, this morning, going around for the exhibition, I think that everybody was clear the attitude of the Italian entrepreneurship, and especially for this sector, for the valve sector, and for the oil and gas energy sector as well. Everyone could feel exactly what is the Italian entrepreneurship and how can Italy be successful to sustain the energy business. Let me explain who we are, first of all. A young company with a long tradition. VALVEcampus was formed in 2002 by the Ruggeri family, by my family, and grew through a number of acquisitions. In 15 years, we have performed 15 acquisitions, growing up to 2016, diversifying the sectors, the products, not only for flow control, also for firefighting business, so grew a lot. 2023 is a milestone for our company. We have conducted a significant recapitalization, refinancing of the company in order to make the company ready to approach the new challenges that the market was offering. Today, the company is controlled 75% by CDP, the Italian Sovereign Fund, which we have seen before the presentation, while the remaining 25% is still in control of the family, of the founding family. Key numbers, company today is in the range of 180 million euros revenue, more than 800 people, 800 employees, with a manufacturing footprint spread across the globe. Of course, main plants are in Italy, 5 plants in Italy, as well as significant manufacturing plant in China and 1 in the UK. In general, the whole world is covered through a number of offices, branches, rep office, distributors, or simply agents. I would say that before the company for sure has developed success in developing and establishing in Middle East and Africa. We'll see why. Today, the revenues from Middle East and Africa count for approximately 1/3 of the company revenues. So for sure, we have a significant experience, which I'm here to share with you. Different products, wide range of products, 5 different business units. The flow control, which for sure here is well represented for valves, every kind of valves, the actuators, as well as all the components for whatever is an energy product, from the downstream, upstream, and midstream. So transportation, exploration, and refining. Technoforge, which is all the piping business, so the fittings, the flanges. Firefighting business, not only for the oil and gas and not only for the energy, as well as for infrastructure and also for the cruise and military sector. We have a business unit in China, as I was saying before, significant plant in order to offer to our customer an alternative to the Italian production. Of course, leveraging on the best opportunities on the supply chain in China as well as on the labor cost in order to provide an alternative for our customers, as well as Brody, our UK business unit, active for the safety business, safety valves for the oil and gas as well as for the marine sector. Okay. The key message I want to share with you here is how to be successful, how we have been able to be successful in Middle East and Africa, which I believe is the most interesting for you. And the first thing I would like to say is think globally, act locally. This motto has been used by many people in various areas, but I think that especially for Middle East and Africa is more actual than ever. Middle East and African countries still value significantly the relationship. So it is hardly difficult for an Italian company or for an international company to be successful in Middle East and Africa if they are not there. We must be there, we must understand their needs, we must understand their requirement, and most important, we must provide with solution, with our experience and with solution. So for sure it is mandatory to be local. There are different ways to be local. Of course, there are some countries which are incentivizing the establishment of local manufacturing companies. Is the example of Saudi Arabia with the ICTRA program, as well as the UAE with the ICV program. There are several countries which are promoting the local investment. This is a way not every company can afford, of course. Investment, local partners, capex are needed, but for sure, as we heard before, from Italian institution, we as Italian companies have the opportunity to also get the proper financing in order to be local, to satisfy the requirement, and possibly go into markets which offers significant, enormous opportunity for the Italian supply chain. Another way to be local and to be successful is to have the possibility to enter into contracts where part of the value is in local currency. Of course, it's not easy, it's not always possible for the Italian companies, but especially when there are maybe installations or part of the amount which has to be spent in the local country, is a good opportunity. Not everybody does, not every company is capable to do that. If we are able, again, together with the support of the Italian institution, to go there and get this possibility, for sure, it is a great opportunity to be successful and to satisfy the local requirement. And this is, by the way, we have some cases in Algeria or in Egypt where we got major contracts where part of the amount was paid in local currency, and we have spent that amount locally in the country for local activities. Another way to be successful, which I like very much, honestly, is many companies think to do business only with a limited view. Go there, take the contract, generate revenues, get their profits, get their money, and finish. No, I think that we have an obligation. We have a social obligation. We have to contribute to the growth of the local country where we go, especially in Africa and the Middle East as well, but in Africa mostly. We must invest over there in order to live our experience, to help and support that country to grow together with us. We have a beautiful example in Uganda and Tanzania. We have developed a pipeline together with Total Energy from Uganda to Tanzania. I'm talking about the EACOP pipeline, Eastern Africa Corridor pipeline, where within the contract we had an obligation and we agreed on a plan to grow the local communities. So we have trained them, we have invited part of the team to be in Italy, to stay there for weeks, to be trained on the program, to be trained on the industry, and we had also the obligation to set up a local manufacturing, a local service center run by locals in order to help that country to develop in that sector. I think this is a beautiful obligation that we took. And I encourage all the Italian companies which do activities in certain countries to promote this kind of initiatives. Last but not least, one-stop shop approach. If you can see, if you have seen from before, VALVEitalia portfolio is very wide in many countries, not only honestly in the Middle East and Africa. There is a lot of bureaucracy. The possibility to deal with a customer and have a one-stop shop approach means one time you discuss terms and conditions, one time you discuss the letter of credit within the frame of one single contract to provide a large number of products. This is giving a great opportunity to the Italian companies, gives a great advantage to the counterpart, to the local counterpart, because it reduces the bureaucracy and gives, gives the opportunity to get a larger amount of contracts. I would close with this, be proactive, drive innovation. I think that we, as an advanced country like Italy, repeat, as you have seen before in this exhibition this morning, today, during the day, we must drive the innovation. We cannot just stay there. We have the obligation to help and to support the countries of the Middle East, Africa, to grow, not only through the social contribution, as I said before, but even with the innovation. We have the experience, we have the technology, we have experience in all the world, and we must help and go there with solution, with new ideas and innovation in order to support the African and Middle Eastern countries to grow in our industry. Finally, this is our ambition, vision, and mission. I already said about one-stop shop. The heart drives our performance. For sure, this is the motto of our founder. And I would close simply with our ambition. By 2027, we will be the preferred partner for our customers, providing innovative solutions, complete range of high-performing products, and excellent engineering services and after-sales support. This is our ambition, and we will continue to work on this, especially towards Middle East and Africa. Come and visit us. We are here, Hall A, booth number 106. I'll be there today and tomorrow. Be glad to meet with you and go deeper if you have any question or any opportunities. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Luca Ruggeri. It was very interesting, your case history. And now let's go to Mr. Amr Hamed, Head of Supply Chain of Imagro Construction, that is an Orascom Construction joint venture. Please, Mr. Hamed.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank Confindustria AS Africa for giving us this chance to be presented in front of the Italian market leaders working in the industrial sector, believing that this will support exploring a new business opportunities among all companies participating in IVS exhibition. First of all, I will introduce Imagro Construction. Imagro Construction was established in 2016 as a joint venture between Orascom Construction and Imagro SPA. Imagro Construction is focused in tailored financial solutions and providing one-stop shop procurement and supply chain activities and services. We based in Italy, and we are giving access to the European market, and we are presented as a group, Imagro Construction and Orascom, in more than 10 countries. One of the major projects that we have executed in Egypt through facilitating the financial solutions from Italy is the Burlos power plant combined cycle. It was 4,800 megawatt, new capital 4,800 megawatt as well, and two combined cycles with two for the one in West Damietta 250 megawatt, and the one in Asyut was 500 megawatt. For the other infrastructure projects, now we are focusing on the transportation sector. We started with the monorail project, which links new capital and old Cairo. It links more than 100 kilometers through 34 stations. This project almost finished. Most of the products have been supplied from Italy, and we signed many contracts with the Italian partners here. For the high-speed rail project, with the one we are executing nowadays, it covered more than 2,000 kilometers. The first line extended to cover 660 kilometers with 21 stations. This is covered the Ain Sokhna to Marsa Matruh on the Mediterranean Sea. And the second line and the third line, we are starting to collaborate with our partners. The second one will be 1,110 kilometers between Greater Cairo and Abu Simbel, and the third one will cover 215 kilometers through Luxor, Safaga, Hurghada, and Red Sea. About our turnover, in 2022, it was 200 million, and in 2023, it was 220 million. About Orascom Group, which is the holding and the mother company of Imagro Construction SRL. Orascom has constantly ranked among the world's global contractors. ENR, we was ranked 27, contractor in the USA, number 10. Our group structure, we owned 100% Whites USA, 100% contract Watts, and 100% construction Cairo, and 50% of B6 Belgium. Our employees, we are more than 86K employees across the group, and of course, you know that we are more than 50 years working in Egypt and in the Middle East. For the our turnover of the group, it was 5.9 billions, including B6 shares. This was last year. Thank you again for giving us the chance to be here today and to present our company, and looking forward to have business opportunities very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed. Now we skip to Mr. Luca Donelli, that is the Market Development Manager of Donelli. Mr. Donelli, please, I give you the floor.
Thank you and good afternoon. My name is Luca Donelli, and as anticipated by Luca, I'm a Market Development Manager at Donelli. We are a corrosion protection company, purely service company, and we generate our turnover mostly in our services provided in shops located in Italy and in the Balkans, as well as operating on site. And when I was asked to bring our contribution to this panel, for which I would like to thank Africa and all the other organizers, I thought I could give you, given also the other relevant speakers within the panel, to give some information on how service companies can get opportunities in markets such as the Middle East and Africa. So in this regard, I think that we have developed a systematic approach to delivering services in markets that are far away, like West Africa and the like. And in this regard, I think the two major key success factors are linked to properly trained qualified operators, as well as developing a supportive local ecosystem. With regard to qualifying operators, I think this is clearly something that every service company needs to do. And we always say that we generate in-country value by definition. Once we are opening and executing a corrosion protection job in any other market, we are definitely looking at developing local workforce to partner with our let's say, a team coming from the headquarters. We have developed experience in various parts of the world, and I think if we need to look at the most important aspects are, number one, having proper mentors in place, and in fact our most successful foremen have developed more into mentors capable of working with local people, starting from the very basic services and activities, and then understanding who should be capable of developing even further. And once this development opportunity is there, that's the time when these colleagues, and here you see some pictures of a project we did in Mozambique at Caorabassa River Dam. In this case, once there is opportunity to further develop local workers, that's typically the first time that they travel abroad. We get a passport, and then they are trained even further by international centers providing certifications for safety as well as for quality application. More in detail also on supportive local ecosystem. Why is it important? It is important because a service company like ours is never 100% present in any country of the world or where they intend to do jobs. Yet you have to be somewhat present. And how have we done it? We have done it by developing, first of all, an intense cooperation with local partners, both industrial as well as from the academic world. And they are there to provide important local news. Sometimes we were informed of a job by a WhatsApp picture taken of a journal article. Sometimes the need for a quick site survey to quote for a job requires to have people capable enough of executing such surveys. So In other words, while we are not present in all the countries that we intend to do and execute projects, yet you have to be and have somebody locally helping you in this regard. I would take the last part of this brief presentation in the interest of time to give you a deep dive on Mozambique for two reasons, basically. The first is that I am and I have been in the country for many years now, and have developed a personal tie with the country, and I sincerely hope that also through these energy projects the country starts to ramp up towards a more developed and fair and economically developed country. And secondly, I will get into the detail in a moment. There is a joint effort organized by US Africa and the Mozambican Italian Chamber of Commerce to organize a mission there, a mission at the beginning of June. And this would be an opportunity to get more information and possibly the first opportunity to visit the country. In terms of opportunities, there are opportunities indeed in the oil and gas sector, as there are already existing plants in place requiring maintenance and requiring support. Also in the field of valves specifically, and I'm thinking of Coral South plant, as well as Sasol operates various sites. In addition, there are various oil and gas projects that should restart quite soon, and others that are already ongoing, mainly dedicated to gas to power projects. Hydropower, like you have seen in the previous pictures, is also a relevant sector. And the country is also investing in other renewable energy projects. As I had mentioned, there is an upcoming opportunity to learn more about the country. It's the continuation of a visit of entrepreneurs that came from Mozambique to an event organized in Milan in November, and now it's the opportunity to exchange the favor and visit both Maputo and as an optional visit Pemba. Pemba is the northernmost city where the support to the offshore oil and gas installation are taking place. And so, as I said, organizers are US Africa, so for sure they can provide further information together with the Chamber of Commerce Mozambico Italia. The industry involved are energy, infrastructure, logistics, construction and agricultural processing. And we hope, and I personally hope that for some of you is an opportunity to get to know the country better. This is it, and thanks once again for the invitation. Look forward to exchanging more after the panel is over, as well as with the opportunity to meet at our stand, also located in Hall A. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Donelli. As you know, corrosion protection is one of the topics of IVS since the first edition, so thank you very much. Now I introduce you Mr. Sergio Carleo, that is the valve sales leader of Baker Hughes. Thank you, Mr. Carleo. I give you the floor.
Okay, not to be repetitive, of course, thanks a lot to South Africa and Mediterranean Confindustria and Industrial Valve Summit for this opportunity. I will start just introducing with 6 number our Baker Hughes organization. So we are an energy technology company, worldwide, active worldwide in more than 120 countries. We are around 60,000 people, employees in the world. Let me also point out that we have a strong focus on environmental and safety. We use this key indicator as a perfect day. So we measure if we have accident, every day, at the end of the day, there is a common review by all the sites, all the people in the field to understand if there was something wrong. And last year we covered 199 perfect day. So safety is one of the issues for us and for our customers everywhere in the world. Another crucial and important part of our organization is the research and development, the innovation, especially now with the reference to energy transition business. Last year we invested around 700 million in research and development, with more than 2,000 patents just only in 2023. Despite we have a global company, and Baker Hughes sounds like a US company, let me highlight how relevant is the Italian content in Baker Hughes. Especially in Italy, we have 8 plants with more than 6,000 people working in, and the most important thing is that we have more than 20 innovation lab in Italy, working on advanced diagnostic technologies, in additive manufacturing, and also in remote control over all the equipments that we have worldwide in all our customer sites. In Italy, we have worked with 8 plants, but 2 historical brand names. One is Opinione, that I think is well known, where we have the construction of gas turbines, steam turbines, compressor, and technologies linked to the liquefied natural gas business. And that's Italia that is linked to the IBS, because we are an historical manufacturer of control valves and safety valves under the brand name of Mason Iran and Consolidate. With the reference, here we can see some of our products that of course are key machines for the energy world. We have developed in the last years a gas turbines working 100% with hydrogen, like a compressor working 100% in hydrogen. With reference, of course, to African and Middle East, surely we talk about region of crucial importance for our company, representing one of the biggest market in the energy sector, and developing, increasing this market, as mentioned also by the ambassador of Nigeria. Over the year, Baker Hughes built long-lasting partnership, usually, and collaboration. In some cases, contributing at the early steps, developing the energy market and the energy production in Africa and the Middle East. We can say, for example, just to give some numbers, if we refer to the supply of gas from Africa to Italy, almost all the compression stations we have gas turbines by Baker Hughes, we have compressors by Baker Hughes. Only in Nigeria we have 400 gas turbines, 700 compressors. Most probably is the largest fleet of this machine in the world. Speaking about liquefied natural gas, Nigeria, Angola, and so on. But I'd like just to point out to the energy transition, the new market, carbon capture, hydrogen. We are right now having people from Iraq. Recently announced a project with the Iraq Prime Minister for the deflaring of the gas plant in Bin Omar, following the one that we have already done in Nasiriyah. And we are very proud to be part of the NEOM project. Is most probably the largest hydrogen project in green hydrogen in the world today, where together with partners and local partners, we are expanding and developing site manufacturing site and testing site to develop there in the region in Saudi the possibility to build the compression train for this application. As mentioned also by Beruga at the beginning, I think that the only thing to work in this country is to work together with them. So we have to go together. So there is no, I think, no future if you want just to sell products, because now I think that this is a market. Absolutely. This is not, we need to partner with them. We need to start developing and financing also sometimes together with the local institution, the energy market, because energy is a key to grow for them, and also for us to survive at the end, as Europe in this moment, as Italy, we need, and this is perfectly in line, I think, with the Piano Mattei. Regarding valves, going more in details, of course, valves are smaller with respect to the numbers that I showed, but the approach, as mentioned before, is localization. Our approach is localization. I will give you just the last slide. So this is the picture, the footprint of our presence there. So we have just few of sales office, but mostly we are developing every stars is a local company where we have a partnership that we trained, we certified, we continue to train and certify. We have our people working together with the people there, giving our experience, but also having from them example of how they can approach the local market, speaking the local languages, using the local culture, and so on. I think that this is the only way that we have to be successful in this country. Of course, these are the beginning, so we have already a lot of partners there, but we are working on the red stars are the potential partners that we are doing. So you can see here how can be capillary the network of partnership that we have here, that we have there. People from us, from our organization is working there, but a lot of people are coming in Italy to be trained and to certify that our site as mentioned, is a sharing of culture, a sharing of technology, of expertise. Of course, we have hundreds years of experience in the valves, but anyway, there is always something new that we can learn from them, from this company. So, say that, I think that the message is quite common for all the people that I have seen here in the panel, and I think that is the right approach. I am this is finished. I am at your disposal for.
Thank you, Mr. Carleo. Thank you very much. It was very interesting. We found some common points. I think localization and, let's say, working with local companies, entities, institutions is one of the key. And so thank you very much. And now we come back to Iraq with our friend, Mr. Fuad Shakir Rashid Arrihabi, CEO of Omietana Company, Iraq. Please, Mr. Rashid.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce myself. I am Fuad Shakir Arrihabi, Chief Consulting Engineer and the Authorized Director of Omietana Company, Trading and Contracting Company Limited, member of Board of Directors of the Iraqi Businessman Union, have more than 37 years of experience in the field of engineering and inspection and maintenance of petroleum equipment. Authorized by National Iraqi Society of Engineering Inspection and Civil Protection Inspect, and assures certificate for steam boilers, towers, vessel, and various valve, member of the Federation of Iraqi Industries. As you are aware, the Iraqi oil refinery mainly adapted the American codes and the standards like STM and ASME code, as well as European standard, the British standard, and GIS standards. All our refinery, they adapted this standard and code. I would employ on the fact that Iraqi is become secure environment in an extent that it should be encouraged business. For that is safety for all people to come to Iraq for working there. And we have many different refinery in the north and middle and south of Iraq. All this area is safe for working. As you will be aware that Iraqi oil refinery distributed all over the country and in continuous need for all kind of fitting, valve such as butterfly valve, check valve, ball valve, plug valve, gate valve, all this kind and many kind, other kind, needle valve, relief and safety valve. All this kind of valve they needed in our refinery. Also piping and the plates, because we use piping in all refinery and many kind of piping, like monel and carbon steel and stainless steel pipe. Worth of mention that the Iraqi government is planning to transform the current existing Dora oil refinery. Our Dora refinery, they want to change the places from center of Baghdad to out of center, to different location. This would mean expecting a potential demand for the above-mentioned product. For the above-mentioned reason, I really encourage the Italian companies to invest more and a better prince through getting closer partnership with their corresponding Iraqi companies. It means they make join together between Iraqi company and Italian company. The work is very good in my country. I repeat my saying that Iraq becomes safe and secure and worth considering for potential partnership. Finally, I thank you for your presence and wish you all the success in concluded successfully business from the manual interest of all Iraqi and Italian parties. For that, I am very happy to meeting you, and I hope to success to make some contract with Italian company and my company and another company in Iraq. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I don't know if you have some question, there is some doubt, if you want. I don't know if the Ambassador Di Leo is still connected, maybe not. Okay, so I think we can conclude. I invite you to, let's say, to visit our exhibition. I know some of you already done it, but please, our, let's say, invitation is to let's say, to make these 2 days the most possible fruitful for you. Hope, as our friend wished to us, to make contracts, make business, and to know our technology. We, as Confindustria, we are at your disposal. We are available to connect you to Italian companies, also As Africa, I think. So thank you again to As Africa, to Confindustria, thank you to SACE, thank you to Siemens, to Cassa Depositi e Prestiti, to Donelli Group, to Valve Italia, and to all our international guests. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.